Hello and welcome. Today we will be creating the simple game of Tic Tac Toe from scratch on Unreal Engine 4. This is Unreal Engine 4.2. So let's get started. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about Tic Tac Toe? I guess the playing field and the grid. So this could be a piece of paper that we're playing Tic Tac Toe on. Okay. And now you probably want to make a grid, right? So let's start by creating a blueprint class, and this is going to be a static mesh because we wouldn't need the grid to be moving around. So let's go with that, and then we can call it TTT grid. So right now it has nothing on it. Let's add component. Let's do cubes, and we will call it row 1. Okay, this does not look much like a grid, but what we can do is scale it. So it's going to be 10 by 1 is fine and 1 is fine. Yeah. So that could be our first pillar. Duplicate that. Move it a little bit here. And then we're going to duplicate it. We're going to call this column 1. We're going to move that also and then duplicate that. And that's going to be another column. And now we just have to rotate our columns a little. So we can do a 90-degree rotation on that one, and a 90-degree rotation on this one. Now we can move it. Yeah, so that kind of looks like a tic-tac-toe grid, right? Okay, I should probably like normalize these better. 15 sounds like a better area. That way we can split it into segments of 5 by 5. Okay, okay. And this is at 180, this is at minus 220. Okay, so this can be our grid. Do we have any basic materials? Let's do the hex tiles. Those are really, oh, that is very stretchy. Let's do steel. Oh, okay. Steel looks good. So, can click that, and then here to here, does. Alright, compile and save those. So, this first blueprint that we just created is for our grid. Now we can just drag and drop it onto our scene. I will set it to 0, 0. Alright, that is how we create a grid. Now, the other thing we will need is probably the pieces. So let's go ahead and create those. So we're just going to make blueprints again, blueprint class. It's going to be static again because we don't need any other kind. Static mesh actors. We're going to call it TTT X. This is just going to be 2 cubes, I guess. Since our grid was 5 by 5 or 15 by 15, so that it could be split into 3 by 3s. I think I'll do this 4.5, and then I'll duplicate that. Then both of them can stay in the same thing. I just have to like rotate one of them. I guess we should do -45. And then this one can be plus 45. Oh, perfect. Select both of them. Steel as well. Okay. So whenever we drop this one here, yep, that will look okay. Although we don't need it right now. And I suppose I could just duplicate this and call it O. And guess I don't need these. I could use cylinders. Alright, great. So this could be our cylinder number 1, 4.5 by 4.5, and then this is going to be steel. And instead of making this hollow, I think I'll just make it 3.5 by 3.5. This could be 1.0235. Let's go with that. And what material do I have for this? Or is this just a sample material? A basic shape material? Alright, let's go with that. Basic floor. Oh, okay. That works. And now let me drop that in. It still seems a little bigger than it should be. Okay, I think I'll scale it down a little. The reason you want these as blueprints is so that later on when you update them, they update throughout the game instead of just having it being updated in one place. 4, 4, and then... Okay, so now you have the assets to create the game. Now let's get to the fun part of coding.